Feel great. A little bumps and cuts, but I'm all right.
Is that the way you thought the fight was going to go?
No, honestly, we thought they were going to be more patient. I think they came and tested the wrong fires, and I could feel after the first round, Damon was kind of like doing desperate moves, trying to catch my back and stuff like that, and I just felt like we're ahead of the game.
Did you have to make adjustments in there, or did it go to plan?
Nah, that's my game. I like making it dirty, bloody, keep it a mixed martial arts fight. I did throws, I did punches, elbows. I did what a lot of other fighters don't do normally, and made it fun.
Were you surprised it was so difficult to finish him?
Yeah, he's a tough guy. He's been in for the business for a long time. I knew my corner even told me, we can't get too excited if we kind of like rock him a little and stuff like that to stay composed and, do what we can to stay on track and get the win or the finish.
Did you learn anything about yourself in there, or is that something you have to look at maybe in 2 or 3 weeks and kind of adjust and watch it over a few times?
I just learned more and more that I'm just a different dog. I got that different style, a different heart, a different mentality for this game. I came in here, after beating especially a guy like that, Damon Jackson, in this kind of division, just shows me what potential I have in the future in this division.
And this week was the first time that the commission only allowed an hour to weigh in rather than the 2 hours normally. I'm wondering if that had any effect on your weight cut or what happened there.
Nah, we kind of calculated the weight cut kind of wrong, especially with the Vegas heat and everything, and kind of shot my body. And honestly, I was so embarrassed that I was probably like gonna throw the fight, and I was like, you know what, because I have so much respect for the people that lose the weight, do the time, do everything else, and that's why I felt bummed and didn't want to like embarrass myself. I didn't even want to come to the arena and stuff like that, but my corner kept me aligned and was like, hey man, we got to do what we can. If they don't want to fight, that's fine, but we're gonna try to do what we can, and that's what we did. They got a little extra percentage on that, and I was willing to give up the pay, whatever, and they were down to fight, and we just said yes, and we went out there and performed.
So what's next for you? When would you like to fight again, or an opponent, or anybody like that?
There's not really any specific opponent. I just want to fight everybody. I'm not scared of anybody at the featherweight division, the lightweight division. I'm just ready to come in here and own whatever, whoever's in my way. It's part of the journey. Right now I'm 4-0 in the UFC, and I just want to keep it up. And if we run into a ranked opponent, that's great. If we run into some guy who's an upcomer, that's cool too. But I'm ready to leave a mark in this division.
How soon do you want to fight again? You think maybe another one before the end of the year, or?
Yeah, if I could get everything kind of locked in physically, with the weight cut stuff, and really put a dial on that and work with the UFC team. And honestly, I was trying to do the cuts and stuff, but the UFC doctor cut me off at 150, and I still was losing weight, just chilling. So it was like, all right, well, if I fix these little things, I know we can do a lot of things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Chepe.
Oh, man.
You just said, you fight anybody, but between these names, Steve Garcia, Joe Anderson Brito, Bryce Mitchell, even Gregor Gillespie, use of the law, of those names, who would you fight?
Any of them. I've had this interview already before. There's not. I've asked for rematches with those guys, and they want to. As you can see in this UFC, there's different routes. They choosing a different route. Look, I'm 4-0. They have losses in the UFC. Even Berto. I say, yo, what's up, Berto? I'm not scared of nobody. Even he's knocked me out. That's cool. That's cute. That was a couple years ago. I'm a new transformed fighter, and I'm ready to show that.
Cool. Congrats.
Thank you.
Chepe, over here, just one. So I know we always talk about how you work with Justin Gaethje and get that experience, but how important is it to get this live experience in a real fight?
Well, this is a cooler experience. It's a little arena. And not so much cheering or booing. And I like it because I can hear my corner a lot more. You know, Vegas don't got that, you know, that it's a tax-free kind of state, you know, so I like that. But, you know, I like, you know, I like fighting anywhere, anytime, you know, like it's big arena, small arena, whatever it is, just to show who I am in this whole fight game. I've showed them I'm able to perform at short notice, even when I miss weight and I'm already bummed out, not mentally fully there, but I could still go out there. You like the you know, the cage door, and let's go.
And how important is it for your evolution to get tested like that for 15 minutes?
Oh, it's great. I love it. This is, you know, Damon Jackson was a huge name when I was kind of going up. You know, I wanted to fight him in LFA when he was a champion, but he had a different route, and I had a different route. So it was great we finally meet, you know, and then I went out there and I really outperformed him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a quick one. We saw your eye get kind of cut up a little bit. How many stitches did you end up getting for it?
It's all glue.
Oh, really?
All glue. Not deep enough, man. All glue.
When that happens, does that fire you up? Because it seemed like it fired up. I don't know if when you see that, you immediately think that maybe there's a potential that it's worse than it is, so you try to go for the finish, because it seemed like it amped you up, and you just kind of went hog wild after that one.
Yeah, probably, man. I think you get a different kind of oxygen when you get cut. You know, like you feel the air go in there. You feel everything else. You know, like everything kind of boiled up. But I honestly get cut like this in practice sometimes, and I obviously can't kill my, you know, my practice partner. So it's about keeping it maintained. But my corner kept me focused, maintained, and I didn't want to out-punch myself or try to out-condition myself. But I felt good. I felt, you know, relaxed. I was very surprised that they were trying to grapple like way more. Like he was kind of trying to, like my partner was saying, he was trying to hug his way through victory. And I was like, man, that's not going to happen here.
Yeah, and there's definitely, I think you even cut him on the back of his head. I don't know if that was an elbow that got him or something. There was a couple times where he did shots, and he looked like he was trying to complain that you were hitting him on the back of the head. Were those shots clean, or was there any ever shots on that?
Man, the thing is, man, I'm doing clean. I'm hitting at one area. If you move your head, back of your head, towards my fist, that's your fault. I even told him, hey, sorry. You know, in the round, I'm talking and apologizing, and I don't have to do that. I don't. But I was like, all right, well, you think I'm trying to do that. Well, here, sorry. You know, here, we'll switch it. You know, oh, my bad. You know, like I try to still keep it clean but fun. And even the ref was like, fine, you're fine, you're fine. And he's just complaining the whole time. So I felt like, you know, he came here more to complain than fight.
You're not one to talk much in a fight, or is that something that was just sort of out of character that you actually were chatting with him?
Out of character. Well, like I'm not trying to be a dirty fighter. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody, man. Especially in this sport, I love everybody in it. Anybody that does this is a crazy man, but I respect them 1,000%. But you know, I'm doing what the ref is letting me do. You know, he's saying everything's good. Okay, well, it's good. If he's crying, that's not on me, man. It's on him. You know, you came here to fight, or did you come here to complain? You know, and you know, and it's the same thing. He hit me in the groin. You know, like nobody wants to polite on that. No, if you could see all these opponents always want to trigger the wrong chepe. You know, they want to hit me in the groin. They want to poke me in the eyes. They want to make it dirty. Cool, we can make it dirty. But when I'm playing dirty, then don't start crying, you know? Like, come on, let's have some fun, you know?
Congrats on the victory.
Thank you.
Chepe, awesome performance tonight.
Thank you.
Not even a question, just have to point out how cool you look, that there's blood dripping from your left eye. That's
Yeah.
fire, bro. That's,
Yeah,
that's
man.
gangster.
Yeah, man.
You mentioned earlier something that fighters don't do. Obviously, this is not to assume,
Yeah.
comes to that grappling style. So you want to mix it up and make it exciting, and that way people say like, oh man, he's gonna just like George St. Pierre this thing, like it's gonna be 25 minutes. But no, you want to give fans a little bit of everything, but still show your dominance in there.
Of course, man. Especially when I'm on my back or whatever, any position, I was throwing up, you know, hammer fist, elbows, you know, I mean, it's a fight. You know, it's an MMA fight. You know, I do things that a lot of guys don't do, you know, and I try to make it active everywhere, consistently show that I have strikes anywhere I'm at. You know, I could be on my back, I could be on top, you know, we could be scramble. Oh, there was a couple strikes in that scramble, you know, and that's what I want to do is just keep it entertaining, you know, and obviously for the fans, for everyone else, but I just know those extra little strikes, it's making the fighter be like, oh shit, this is a whole different animal, you know.
Oh, no doubt. And we've talked to many guys and girls in there that say, this isn't just grappling, this isn't just a Greco-Roman wrestling match. Like the fact that you can throw strikes throws everything off for a guy who's not accustomed to that. So that's great to keep that at your bag of tricks. You also mentioned different routes. So what you mean, and it helped me understand, is you're willing to take the tough fights. You're not gonna just like pick and choose, like, oh, let me get this record going real nice and stay undefeated in the UFC. Give me the smoke with anybody.
Yeah,
Everybody.
man, dude, it's crazy because I've seen other fighters really pick and choose their fights, and it's kind of some BS for me, And it's like, man, like that's not what fighting is for, Like I was on the USA team, I fought on the MMAF, and I didn't pick and choose nobody, I was like, oh, that one's the guy who wants to fight. All right, let's go. And that's what I kind of look at it, In the UFC, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, no, I'd rather have the easier route. Like as you can see, I fought 3 other monsters, and then I fought Damon Jackson, well experienced, been in it for so many years in the UFC and fighting other tough contenders. Just to keep showing people like, man, I'm here to fight the best because I want to be a champion one day.
You have to fight the best to become the best, no doubt.
For sure.
How great was it that the UFC gave you this co-main event slot? Because the fact that you got to show out 30-26, 30-25, I mean, you put on a clinic, and as the co-main event, more eyes on you. ESPN, for crying out loud.
Yeah, man, it's the thing I've been chasing for since I was little, man. I knew when I started chasing this, before my mother passed, she was like, this is not gonna be easy. She said, this is like one of the hardest things. You're doing it alone. You're coming from the hood. You don't got expenses. You don't got nothing. But you got heart. I want you to, win this and do this with your heart, and that's what I've been doing.
And she's watching and is just like super proud that baby boy is just killing it. We got that big win. Everybody is on notice, but what's kind of crazy is that extra opponent in there, that Vegas Heat. We had that Tavares Park fight canceled because of his weight cut and the difficulties with it. How much of an issue is fighting in Las Vegas this time of the year that you have to incorporate that now into your weight cutting regimen and how hot it is and how that affects everything?
Well, it's part of the job, man. Like I kind of like if we calculated the numbers the right way and did it the right way, I think it would have been excellent. I did it here before with Sherrier, and I obviously it wasn't the same, season, that we're in the summer. So you got to kind of do your homework. You got to, know what time you're going, what you're going to do, the cuts and stuff like that, and the right nutrition. And I think everything will go smooth just like today.
Last for me, super big win. Now you got some momentum going. What happens the rest of the year? What's on the to-do list? What are you looking for 2024 to really put a stamp on this year for you?
Just keep winning, man. Right now I kind of want to go back with my team, talk to them, fix some stuff for this, nutrition and this mental health stuff, and really get things going and hopefully get a big name, in November, December, and keep it going,
Are you mean like a sports psychologist, or what are we talking about?
Yeah, just to keep things intact, man. There's a lot of things that, even Patty Piblet has said it. There's a lot of guys who kind of go in this game kind of like headstrong, not really kind of being verbal. Like I've told my corner and everybody else, I'm trying to be more verbal of how I feel, things like that. And they've listened to me very well. We're 4-0 in the UFC and still, ride or die on this.
That's what's up, man. It's super great that you're, and I appreciate you for that you're using your platform for that and to bring awareness. So much props. Awesome win. Well done tonight, sir.
Awesome. Thank you.
Серый, сразу скажи им, что не хочу говорить на английском, потому что слишком много стресса, да.
He's gonna speak Russian because there's too much stress right now. Still, he's still feeling very like stressful. Yeah, overwhelmed. So if it's okay for him to speak Russian, I'll do my best.
Of course not.
Well, congratulations. How are you feeling after that performance?
Поздравляю, как себя чувствуешь после такого выступления?
Спасибо, очень хорошо себя чувствую. Слава богу, победил. Был волнительный бой.
Thank you, I feel great. Thank God for the victory. It was a very worrisome victory for me.
Why do you say that?
Почему волнительный?
Ну, так как у меня была травма, я последний месяц практически не тренировался. Плюс у меня жена беременна. Мой тренер сегодня со мной тоже с Молдовы, с Кишинева, тот, который меня ставил на ноги, в принципе. Моя команда, которая здесь меня тренирует, Миша Циркунов, Маркос, Рома, кто искренне со мной. Это не просто команда, это как моя семья.
Well, because I had an injury, so for the past month I wasn't able to really train that much. Plus, I have a very pregnant wife at home who's waiting for me. I also have my team here. My coach, my original coach from Moldova is here, somebody who pretty much raised me. I also have the rest of my team, Misha Tsrukunov, I have Marcus, I have Roma. These are not just my teammates, these are my family. These are the people that are truly with me and behind me all the time.
Are you able to tell us what that injury was?
Ты можешь нам сказать, что за травма была или нет?
Ну, зачем это рассказывать, чтобы потом туда целились соперники?
Why would I share that so then the opponents would aim at that spot?
So you're not planning on getting whatever that is fixed? You're just
The-
going to let it stay broken?
То есть
Or-
ты лечить то, что болеть не будешь, оно останется сломанным или там что-то с ней происходит?
Не, в любом случае, я сейчас возьму паузу немного, поэтому, когда меня спрашивают, кто следующий, то есть я понимаю, что UFC турниры проходят каждую неделю, и то есть ситуация может измениться в любую минуту в тяжелом дивизионе, поэтому мне на самом деле очень сложно отвечать на такие вопросы, когда задают. А драться хочется всегда с теми, кто лучше меня, да.
Well, I'll definitely take a break. I'll heal up. But you know, when the UFC asks me, when people ask me what's next, it's very hard for me to say because a lot of things can change in the heavyweight division really quickly. So it's good for me when the UFC says who's next, as opposed to me having to choose. I understand that the tournaments happen every single Saturday, every single week. So I'll wait and I'll see, and we'll see what's next.
What about the game plan going in? Did you kind of anticipate a first round finish with him, or were you? I know everybody says they prepare for the full fight, but realistically, what were you thinking would happen?
Как насчет геймплана? Ты хотел закончить бой в первом? Я знаю, что все говорят, что я готов на 3 раунда, на 5 раундов, но в принципе ты хотел, чтобы бой закончился быстро?
Да, я хотел начать бой агрессивно, в агрессивной манере, чтобы выиграть его как можно быстрее. И слава богу, у меня получилось. Мы знаем, что Марчин сильный соперник. Ему без разницы, с кем драться. Он всегда выходит и дерется до конца. Я респектую ему за это.
Yes, I wanted to come out aggressively. I wanted to pressure. I wanted to finish the fight as soon as possible. And thank God it worked out that way. We knew that he was a very dangerous opponent. We knew that he never chooses his opponent. He always comes out. He always fights to the very end. And I respect him for that. I think he's a really tough guy.
After the fight, Bisping said that you came over and said something to him, and he doesn't know what it was that you said. Do you remember doing that, and what was it that you said to Bisping?
После боя Бизбин сказал, что ты что-то ему сказал, но он не совсем понял, что ты ему сказал. Ты помнишь, что ты говорил Бизбингу, и что это было, если ты можешь повторить?
Ну, я ему сказал, что мне кажется, что ты меня недолюбливаешь. Вот и все. Но он сказал, что это не так. Я говорю, да ладно, не переживай, я шучу, все нормально.
I told him that, hey, I thought you didn't like me that much. And he said, no, it's not. I do like you. And at the end, I just told him, like, hey, I was just kidding. You know, I don't have anything against you.
Why did you think he didn't like you?
Почему тебе кажется, что он тебя недолюбливает?
Не знаю, может, потому что у них есть чемпион в тяжелом весе. И и он за него болеет. Вот и все.
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe because they have a heavyweight champion and he's rooting for him. Maybe that's why, but nothing else.
И то, что, может быть, я не так отвечаю на вопросы, так как они любят. Я просто сам по себе чуть скромный, не договариваю, но может быть из-за этого тоже.
Maybe because I don't answer the questions in the manner that they expect me to answer them, because I'm a pretty humble guy. I don't talk too much, so maybe because of that as well.
Before the fight, a lot of the fans were not that excited about this fight, this rematch. They didn't feel like it was needed. Was it exciting for you to prove to them that you could fight differently this time around?
До этого боя не так много фанатов ожидали этого боя, они считали, что этот реванш не особо нужен, то есть они не следили за ним. А тебе кажется, что ты в этом бою доказал, что вот как ты можешь сражаться, и вот почему за тобой стоит следить?
Для меня это тоже был сюрприз, как бы, то есть они предложили, я согласился. Вот и все, как бы. Я на самом деле об этом сильно не думаю. Мне дают соперника, а я выступаю. У меня нет какой-то злобы к нему. Марчин меня сделал лучше. Сирил Ган меня сделал лучше. Том Аспинал меня сделал лучше. Всем, кому я проиграл, сделали меня лучше. Мои поражения – это мои большие победы тоже. Я из этого извлекаю какие-то плюсы.
I didn't pick the fight. The UFC said that we have to fight, and that was the opponent that was in front of me. So it's not like I specifically wanted this fight back. But I have nothing against Martin. He's a great fighter, and he only made me better. All of my losses make me better. Martin made me better. Tom Aspinall made me better. Cyril Gane made me better. So I take a lesson, and I get better from my losses.
And I know you already said you're not going to call anybody out because you just take who the UFC says, but what about a date or a location? Do you want to fight again by the end of the year?
Опять же, ты говорил, что ты не хочешь называть никаких имен, но, может быть, у тебя есть какое-то время, когда хотел бы ты вернуться и когда хотел бы ты сразиться?
В конце года можно было бы подраться, выступить. Если все будет хорошо со здоровьем.
End of the year would be great. I would come out at the end of the year. As long as I stay healthy, I would fight at the end of the year.
When is your baby due? Is that when is it going to line up with your next fight?
Когда ребенок родится?
Ну, я на самом деле очень надеялся, чтобы не перед боем, потому что я буду со своей женой на партнерских родах, и не хотел, чтобы у меня еще это отвлекало, как бы тоже стресс. И сейчас мне, в принципе, все равно, я готов сейчас отдаться жене. Сейчас у нас 35 недель было во вторник. В этот вторник будет уже 36 недель. Поэтому очень скоро.
I'm just very happy that it wasn't before the fight, because that would have been another extra stress on me going into the fight. But now I'm done, and I'm fully committed to just being with my wife and to do whatever she needs me to do. Last Tuesday was 35 weeks, so now this is going to be 36 weeks already.
I just have to say, you always light up when I ask about the baby. You must be really excited.
Ты всегда очень как светишься, когда тебя спрашивают про жену, про ребенка. Ты очень счастлив, да, что ожидаешь ребенка с ней?
Да, я очень счастлив. Наконец-то мне повезло в жизни.
Yes, I'm very happy. I finally won at life.
Thank you.
Sergey, just one question. After your win, number 7 ranked Jailton Almeida called you out on social media. What are your thoughts about that potential matchup?
После твоей победы номер 7 в ранге Джейлтон Алмеда вызвал тебя на бой. Какие мысли?
Пусть тренируется.
Let him train.
Thank you.
Congrats on the win. Amazing performance. I don't think anybody expected that. I'm sure you did. Walk me through that finish. Everything was so quick. How did you see that opening and was able to take that arm home?
Поздравляю с победой. Мне кажется, никто не ожидал такого финиша, кроме тебя. Наверняка ты ожидал. Ты можешь проговорить про этот финиш? Он был такой быстрый, такой уверенный. Что ты видел?
Я начал достаточно агрессивно. И на самом деле это было задумано. Такая работа, если я окажусь на спине, я готов Там у меня было пару приемов, которые я должен был использовать.
I started very aggressively. I come out pushing the pace, but to be honest, this is what we trained for. That if I were to end up on my back, I had a few moves that I was training and I was prepared to use if that happened.
Excellent. Congrats on the win, and hope everything goes good. Good luck with the baby.
Thank you
Congrats,
so much.
победой.
Do you envision that you and Marcin will fight again?
Тебе кажется, что вам снова придется с ним драться, с Марчином?
Честно сказать, не знаю, но думаю, что нет.
To be honest, I don't know, but I don't think so.
I was wondering, because it feels like the first fight was so long ago that doesn't feel like this was even really like a rematch. It just feels like a new fight that you probably don't even feel like you need to have a rematch. But speaking of rematch, that Cyril Gane's fighting Alexander Volkov, I don't know if that's a rematch that you're really aiming to want to try to get back. And would you be interested maybe even with just the winner or the loser of that particular matchup?
Вы так давно первый раз дрались с Мартином, что это даже не выглядит, как будто это был реванш, потому что такое впечатление, что это просто была новая победа, и тебе не стоит с ним драться еще раз. Но говоря о реваншах, сейчас Волков будет драться с Сирил Ганом. Одного из них, например, ты хотел бы реванш с Сирил Ганом или взять победителя того боя, или взять даже проигравшего в том бою, или Волкова, или Гана, в зависимости от того, кто выиграет, кто проиграет.
Согласен драться с любым, да. Согласен. Кто победит, согласен драться.
I agree to fight with anybody, either of them. Whoever wins, I'm happy to fight the winner.
Thank you so much.